This is Josh Townsend recording my Year 2 FMP evaluation for Before I Go. So firstly, I want to start off with the process of creating this show was somewhat, I don't know, very close to the belt, I guess you could say. How we didn't have a huge abundance of time when creating this show. We only had about, I guess, 2 weeks to put it together. Overall, throughout the process, we did a bunch of the scenes through auditions, but we got our characters on our script very late, and we only had about 2 weeks and a maximum of 2 days per week to rehearse for this show. With that being said, I can seriously say that the show as a whole was pretty good. Alright, let's start with basically the first part of the show. When it starts off, obviously it starts off with me, Micah, Matt, Nathan and Chris as our characters sitting in our barracks, and Chris's character is reading a letter from a loved one, and my character is, let's just say, not in a good place at this point, and the other three are just having general chit-chat. Chris goes off while his mind is elsewhere, while he's reading the letter, and suddenly a bomb goes off outside our barracks, killing him. This is basically to set the tone for our show. We went through this scene during the auditions quite a bit, each of us taking turns being Chris's character, and the overall effect of what was meant to happen was, not only was it meant to prepare you for what's to come, but also to enlighten you in the sort of situation the soldiers would have been in, to never drop your guard, I guess. Then what came after was my first scene with Emily Samet's character, and both my character and her character were very romantically involved. So this was quite an interesting scene, because I needed to show a level of emotion to the point where I'm not presenting that I am nervous about going off to war, but also have it lingering there to where it's almost noticeable. And with that in mind, I had to overlay it with a sort of uneasy confidence, I guess you could say. And this whole bit was hard because I've never had to be intimate with someone on stage, whether it's that just being a couple or family. I've never been put into one of those roles, so I found it quite difficult at first, but I was given some good advice from Gary, and that was just to kind of feel in the moment. Next, what came about was the leaving for war at the train station. Now, this was a pretty good scene in my opinion. It could have gone slightly better, but I think it went well. Basically, what happened was me and Emily Samet's character were heading to the train as I'm about to go off to war. And obviously by this point I am really nervous, but I still need to keep that down so that it's not noticeable. And from this